Hello, Europe!
Today's topic is our reaction to the results of the final of Eurovision 2017. So these are just our thoughts and reactions to what happened on Saturday night. Oh my god, first of all, it was an amazing show. I thought everyone was doing an incredible job. It was so much more entertaining and fun to watch even than the semifinals, I thought, personally. So there were a lot of good acts. It was hard to choose who to vote for. But oh my god, there were some serious upsets too.
My first reactions is I'm very, very happy for Portugal as a country, that they finally not only get a good result, but actually go and win the whole thing, and we'll get to host it next year. That's amazing. With that being said, it wasn't my favorite song. It was not the one that I was hoping to win, but I'm perfectly happy with it winning, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I felt like it was kind of inevitable. Even up to the semifinals, I was like, oh wow, this really might win. It had such an unexpected response. I mean, if you look back at our video about Portugal, you'll see that we really liked the song and we really, really rooted for Portugal. We were like, come on, Portugal, you know, always the underdog of Eurovision. We've wanted them to do well, so I'm super, super happy that they won. But again, just for me, I wanted something a little more upbeat to win, possibly. Because this is a hard one to get pumped about Eurovision with when you're listening to it. It's an incredible song, though.
It reminds me a little bit of last year in that it's the performance as a whole. It's him, it's his backstory, it's the energy that he brings, the way that he sings, it's the staging. It's like all of it together creates this really magical moment, right? And if you just take the song out and leave everything else behind, it doesn't really do anything for me. So in that way, it reminds me a little bit of Jamal of last year, because that's how I felt about the winning entry last year as well.
I wanted Italy to win from the beginning, basically from the time that I heard that song. And that was another thing that surprised me. I was disappointed. I was. I mean, what we thought when we watched it was maybe it was because it came right after Hungary, which was so intense and so amazing.
I voted for Italy, but I didn't really feel it on the night. I just voted for it because I wanted it to win, but I thought the Hungarian singer, he did his best performance that I've seen, in the semifinals or in the national selection. It was absolutely magical. I got teary-eyed for the first time hearing that song, and I've heard that song 100 times. But it was something really, really great about his performance in the grand final. And it was so gripping. And then straight after that, you got Italy's really, up-tempo, really cheery song, and I was just so numb. I couldn't really take it in. But also, I think he didn't really make that much contact with the camera.
No.
He was his eyes were kind of all over the place. I didn't feel his charisma as much either.
And that's important. That's an important part of why that song was so good.
It is,
He is incredibly charismatic, and he was one of the writers for that song. So you could always tell in his performances that he was really into it. He's just a very charismatic person, so you have to play to your strengths as far as the staging goes. And I don't know that they were zooming in on his face at the right moments where he's grinning, or that sort of stuff really just takes it to the next level. Yeah,
and really bring out the playfulness of the performance too. I think they didn't really do that.
Another shock was Bulgaria getting second, honestly. I mean, I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm not saying it's a bad song. I always liked it. But I didn't connect with it emotionally so much, because to me it sounds a little bit generic as far as it's just a pop song that you might hear in the radio. I might hear this in America. I just didn't find it to be something special, although I think he is incredible. He's an incredible performer with an incredible voice, and he obviously reeled people in with his performance, absolutely. But for me, I don't get that as a #2 song.
A lot of people obviously liked it. They won their semifinal. They got second place in the grand final, both from the juries and the televote. So definitely Moldova was a big shock that they managed to climb up to third place, coming up from nowhere after the jury votes to snatch third place just because of televotes. I do think it helps to have been in the contest before, and especially with such a memorable entry, even though it did super poorly, which is weird looking back. But that's one of the few ways to actually build a relationship with the audience, is to be a returning artist to the contest, because, Europe is so diverse musically. Even if you're a huge star in your own country, no one necessarily knows you outside of the country, so
it can be a lot of pressure. I feel like Italy might have crumpled a little bit under all the pressure of people thinking he was going to win. This one, it's like they've been in Eurovision before. It's fun. It's memorable. They ticked all the boxes. It was an incredibly memorable stage performance and a catchy song, and it was fun dancing. It was a year of a lot of intense mid-tempo songs and ballads, and songs like this really stuck out, especially if you just sang it right, like had dancers, you know?
Sweden getting so high is definitely a surprise to me. They got, what, 5th place? Just ahead of Italy. I was not expecting that. I never think Sweden is going to do that well as of, like, you know, the last, I don't know, 5 years or something, but we do so well, and I don't understand what's happening. I was so shocked when Mons won. I was so shocked that we didn't get, like, bottom 3 last year with France. And honestly, this was a huge shock to me too. So all in all, I thought it was a really good show. I definitely thought 2017 turned out to be a very good year. While maybe, you know, at the start of the season it was looking a little bit shaky, I was not that excited about it, but so many acts surprised me and were a lot better than I thought they would be. And it turned out that sort of the ballad swamp that we were worrying about when the season started, it wasn't so bad. It was really diverse between the different ballads, and a lot of them because there were so many ballads, a lot of them fell away during the semifinals, and in the finals we ended up having a really very diverse show, I thought.
It really was, yeah. I was super happy about that. There were a lot of energetic songs, a lot of ballads. The ballads were more unique. It was a very good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really happy. Let us know what you think in the comments. We're always so happy to hear from you. It's like our own little Eurovision community on the internet. So let's keep Eurovision going all year in our hearts to be as cheesy as possible.
Yes, and we're excited to see what Portugal does for next year. I think it'll be incredibly fun to have a new country host it. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we hope to see you next time.
Happy listening.